This is gonna be a longer video. I feel like you need a snack. Get a snack and a drink, and yeah. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am going to be putting on some makeup and we're going to be doing a book tag. While I do that, we are deep in the throes of NaNoWriMo, so content is very interesting. Trying to make it, trying to get it edited. I have lots of ideas, but can I accomplish anything? I don't know. So we're going to stick with a good old book tag. We're going to get my makeup on so I can film a standalone review for another book and then maybe get some sleep. Let's get started. So as you can tell, this is the Behind the Booktuber tag, and this is from Shelly Swearingen, another booktuber, and it's a lengthier tag. I have nothing prepared for this, so be prepared for a lot of probably general chaos. That's usually how things work around here. And I'm just gonna try to get a little less exhausted looking. These lights are doing it the most, but yeah, I need to make myself a little less exhausted. So before we start, I just want to say, if you could make sure to like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and if you like this, if you want to. I mean, don't do it if you don't want to. That's cool. I won't be mad. Also, if you are a subscriber and you can, if you have the ability to, can you watch this all the way through and just interact with it a little bit? The algorithm really likes that, and you know, do me a solid. If you really like it, watch it all the way through. If you really like it, if you really want to support the channel, you know, watch it twice. Put it on while you clean. I don't know. Anyway, that's enough business stuff. Let's get into this. So there are like 13 prompts, and some of them have sub prompts. So this is about getting to know me a little better, getting to know other booktubers a little better. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Number one, what has surprised you the most about Booktube, both in a good way and a bad way? So I've been doing this for a few years now. Super small channel, super slow growth. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it's growing at all, and it's like totally stagnated at some threshold, and then I'll break through it with something. But I think what surprised me is how and when certain people take off and really grow into like bigger, more influential channels in this little community. But then also the other thing that really gets me, like, I guess it's surprise, which the other thing that surprises me, but the other thing that makes me like scratch my head, that's what I'm trying to say, is when certain videos really pop off. Like, and then when certain videos pop off, like after you've published that, you've posted them. In my beginning of YouTube, Booktube, I did a lot of hauls, I did a lot of vlogging. I do still like to vlog from time to time. It's a lot of commitment, and I do like vlogging now really as a way to practice my like editing skills, because you can do a lot more in a vlog than you can in like a sit down video like this. There's a limit to how much editing you can really do, how many fancy things you can do, how many things you can learn. So I do like doing vlogs for that point, and I do like sharing bits of my life, like a little bit more with people. I feel like it makes a booktuber or any sort of YouTuber more relatable and just kind of more human. It humanizes us a bit more, to show other aspects of our lives other than just like the thing that we YouTube about. But what I find really interesting is, like, when I started moving away from that to do individual book reviews, I found it really hard to commit to doing standalone book reviews, because I felt like they just didn't get a lot of traction. People didn't like them. Like, everybody always says, like, I want more reviews on Booktube, but then nobody ever watches them. So then you just haul more books, or you, whatever, you do the things that the algorithm likes. And I found, as like more of a long-term observation, is that the videos that do the best long-term are my more standalone videos. And I get comments on those things months, years after I've made a review. So I really feel like there is a shift that has happened on my channel. And that surprised me, and it surprised me just in general about Booktube, that you have this sort of duality of like, people want book reviews, but the algorithm doesn't seem to favor book reviews in the short term. But over time, those just keep going because they're evergreen. And that's, I think, something that I learned from KD Books, is that and what helped me to commit more to doing standalone book reviews is that they are evergreen content, and there will always be somebody who's picking up, you know, a book that you may have reviewed and wanting to see what other people have said about it, whereas opposed to like somebody like wanting to watch my October recap from 2020. They probably don't want to see that, right? Like, you don't, do we care what I was reading in October of 2020? I don't know. I mean, I might, but I don't know if a viewer does. So that surprises me, is like the kinds of videos that kick off, when they kick off, and who and how and why other booktubers, like small booktubers, kick off. I find the whole algorithm very interesting. I also don't understand any of it. Like, I don't know how to do SEO. I don't know how to do anything. Like, I'm just vibing, and that's fine. I'm cool with it. Anyway, that was a really long answer. How do you balance your reading and booktube with the rest of your life? I probably don't, is the short answer to that. I am not good at balance, but I think the longer answer is that I make reading a very big part of my life. It is a habit that I'm very like attached to. I have a long streak on Bookly of reading every day for like thousands of days, so multiple year streak, and I don't want to lose it. So I will make sure that I read a little every day. And then what that has become is that I just don't feel right if I don't read every day. Like, some people don't feel right if they don't go to the gym, or if they don't have a vegetable, or whatever. Like, I feel like there's a piece of my piece missing if I haven't read, so then I read. Sometimes I read a lot, sometimes I read very little. Sometimes I just read a few pages and fall asleep, but I kind of always make reading that priority. Now, in terms of Booktube is difficult. I know that Allie from Hardback Hoarders has talked about this in a burnout video, that like making content, this kind of content, is really difficult at times because of how much background work there is involved in it. Not that other things don't have, other kinds of content don't require like behind the scenes work, but like if you think about how long it takes to read a book, say it takes an average like 6 or 7 hours to read a book. I don't know if that's an average, I'm making up a number. You have to read a certain number of books to like make content. Say you read like 5 books, right? That's 30 hours of just the reading part. That's not you talking about it, it's not you filming it, that's not you editing it, that's not you anything, making thumbnails. So there is a lot of behind the scenes work that isn't really, I think, always appreciated for booktubers, especially because it's a small and relatively niche community. That's hard to balance, I guess, is my point, because there's a lot of time. I go through like gluts and phases where I'm like really jazzed to film all the time, or like I have a ton of ideas and I have time to like execute them and edit them, and sometimes I just have ideas and I can't get to them. And right now I'm in one of those phases. So I have my Notion, and my Notion is filled with video ideas, and when I have a moment, like I have a moment today, I'm gonna like tick off a couple of them and make content for you guys. I know there's other people who like plan out all of their content like ridiculous amount of time in advance. Like some people have like a whole quarter planned out, and I can't do that, because I don't even know my life, like what day I'm gonna have free for more than like 3 or 4 weeks at a time, because my schedule is constantly changing. So it gets really difficult logistically to manage all these things, but it does help that I don't have like kids and stuff like that, that like my time is really my time. I guess that's the answer to it, is that I don't think I do. I think that I just do my best and I flounder around and I get what I can out to people. And maybe that's why my channel doesn't grow, like, or hasn't grown in some like leaps and bounds kind of way. But I'm also kind of happy with that in some ways. I don't know if it's gonna get covered in another video, in another question here, but what's nice about still being small is that I can read whatever I want. I don't feel the pressure to like be viral or like read what is popular or make a video based on, you know, whatever I think is going to get clicks. I can just make videos off of what I feel inspired to make videos on, and then I put them out there, and if people like it, they like it. If people don't like it, they don't like it. Clearly there's some people that like what I make and what I have to say and what I do, because there's a few of you that stick around. You know, there's regulars in my comments, and I appreciate you all. Like, thank you everybody who regularly comments. Thank you anybody who ever comments. I mean, that means a lot to me. But it is kind of nice having the autonomy and not having any guilt around reading whatever I want. I feel like a lot of my friends who have larger channels, there is this like stressful element to it, because they have to read, or they feel compelled to do what will continue to get them views. And I feel like that's a terrible way to do this. I don't think it's, anyway, I feel like I answered several questions there. Let's get back on script. Number 3, have you ever thought about starting a Patreon? Technically, I have a Patreon. It's very small, and it's kind of a tip jar and a little Discord, but not that anybody really uses the Discord outside of the discussion boards for the book club. I haven't really done a lot of promoting of it, and I think that's going to be one of my goals for 2024 is to try to put more time and effort into that, because I do enjoy reading the books that we pick with other people, and I do think it's fun to have a little community of people that you do stuff with, but I also don't want it to be like too serious. The way I have it set up right now is kind of like how Fundy Fridays has their setup, where every tier is the same thing. It's just it's a sliding scale. Like, if you can't afford, I don't even remember what my scales are. Let's say it's $10, and I think there's like a $2 and a $5 in the middle. If you can't afford top tier, and you can only afford like $2 this month, you can, you know, and you want to support, go ahead, you can do that. It's not going to change anything there. The only exclusivity thing that I have is that we read a book together, and there's a discussion board, and I think it would be really fun that if in the future, when there are a bunch of people in there, if people go back and they read books maybe we read in the past and hop on those discussion boards, and we get to like relive the experience of reading some of the books we've already read, I think that would be fun. But anyway, yes, I have Patreon. I don't do a lot with it right now, in full disclosure, outside of the book club. In 2024, I'm going to do my best to try to find a sustainable way to manage and promote and maintain that community. So that is on the docket. Have you made any mistakes in Booktube? Probably a lot. Like, I know I'm terrible at like SEO, so I'm sure like I'm not promoting my videos or making the most out of things like that I could. I used to like to do commentary and stuff. I still do like to make those videos from time to time, but honestly, sometimes I don't like those videos, because sometimes there are just trolls who come at you. I know it's part of being on the internet, so it's fine, but sometimes you don't want to get yelled at every day in your comments. Like, it gets old. You're like, you know, we talked about this 3 months ago. Why are you yelling at me? That kind of thing. I don't know if that's so much a mistake, but because I don't really regret any of like the more commentary videos that I've made. I feel like I regret not being maybe a little sassier and a little bit more willing to protect my own peace on the internet. I see other creators get like, you know, clap back at trolls, and not in an aggressive way, but in like a funny way, or like clearly a way where they're being dismissive of them. And I tend to just ignore anybody who wants to troll me or be a real dick in the comments, because what am I gonna say? Huh? Like, yeah, I think my other mistake is I'm not great at getting back at comments in a timely manner, because I mean, I'm not great at texting people back either, so. And I don't know if that affects anything in terms of engagement, but I do eventually comment back on almost everything. Sometimes I just don't even know what to say. So I don't know, that might be a mistake too. Editing Alyssa here, I definitely blocked out this mistake. Thanking Franny and Zoe, even though like I know, like I'm reading the author's name, fully committing with my full chest to the author being Jack Kerouac instead of J.D. Salinger. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. And I embrace that mistake, and I apologize. Do I have any advice for new booktubers? Don't buy every book. I know I'm sitting here in front of a wall of books. Don't buy every book that you think is popular. Make friends. I didn't do that for a while. We'll put that under my mistakes. I didn't make friends with other booktubers. I found it really difficult to navigate the functionality of YouTube as a platform in terms of like being social with other people in my community. And it's taken me a bit of time to make friends here in the community, and now I have them. It's wonderful to have friends. So I would say make friends across different kinds of content too, especially if you are a multifaceted reader. Like, I don't read one thing. Make friends across a couple different content kind of areas, because you know, you might want to do a collab with a friend or just have a buddy read that isn't content for anybody. Reading something that's outside of your normal genre. Like, I predominantly read lit fic, but I have a blast reading fantasy books with Roger from Rogers Reads. I would just start. I wouldn't worry about being super like slick. And if you really want to invest in anything, I would invest in a good-ish mic. Not that I'm even using my mic today right now. I'm still working on this desk setup. I don't like it in terms of filming. I love it, but I don't like it for filming. Anyway, I would get a good mic, because I think the most important thing on YouTube is actually your sound, and that will be the thing that like hurts you. Like, people will click off more than like if your video is slightly grainy. Like, they want you to sound not like something that's gonna make your ears bleed. So mic, just start, make friends, don't buy all the popular books, read what you like, and do your best to be yourself. I feel like the more you are yourself, the more people like resonate with you. Don't try to be so like pristine and like perfect. I don't like that kind of booktuber. I like you to be like a little unhinged and fun. What are my thoughts on the YouTube algorithm? I don't understand it. I find it very strange. I had a week where every video got like 40% more views than any other week, and I don't know why. Like, I didn't do anything. None of the videos were like the same. It was like an unboxing, Lord of the Rings, and something else, and they all just kicked off. I don't know why. Sometimes I post like a short and it goes crazy. Shorts help. So to go back to the advice right now, as I'm filming this in November of 2023, YouTube seems to really like shorts. If you push out shorts, they don't always do well, but when they do well, you know, it really drives a lot of views, and you get a lot of weird, I don't understand how that algorithm works at all. Actually, let's just talk about that. I think the video algorithm is like generally fine in terms of pushing you content that you want to watch. But when it comes to the shorts, I don't understand that algorithm, because whatever my shorts feed is makes zero sense, and it's so chaotic, and it has never come in line with my like long form video feed in terms of like what I actually watch, and I don't get it. So like, and I think it just gets worse, because I'll stop and watch something and I'm like, I don't know why you're showing me this video, and then because I've interacted or whatever, it'll keep showing me that video. Like, but like it rarely shows me book videos, which I find very strange, because I make book content, I watch book content and a couple other kinds of things, and all you're showing me are dance videos. All you ever show me are dance videos. I don't understand. Fashion. I am the least fashionable person. I don't get it. So I guess that's how I feel about the YouTube algorithm. I do not understand it. I just exist in it. I vibe within the algorithm. 7 is a two-parter. How do you decide what videos to make? Are you ever overwhelmed with video ideas? I decide to do videos based on vibes. It's just whatever I feel like doing. I have like set videos I kind of do all the time, so there's always content. So you kind of always have a wrap up and a TBR. You kind of usually have an unboxing in the month. Some months there seem to be more unboxings than others for some reason, but there's usually some sort of unboxing, because I'm always working with like Unplugged or Twisted Retreat, and I like to show you those things. Because I just love the goodies, and it makes me happy. Then sprinkled throughout is just kind of whatever I want. Occasionally I do book tags. Mostly it's standalone reviews. Sometimes I just have an idea. Like, I have 2 companion reads videos that I want to film to add to that sort of small series that has been growing over time. Litbro has some things that he may be back in 2024 with some content for y'all. So I just kind of do whatever strikes my fancy, and that's really it. I don't really have some grand plan. And again, that's probably why my channel doesn't grow massively, but yeah. Are you ever overwhelmed with video ideas? Sometimes. Right now I have a wealth of video ideas, which is kind of a nice place to be because I can just dip into the pool, come out when I have a moment to film something, and then carry on with my day. And I like that I have this glut of video ideas because I just keep adding to it. But I know that one day I will get through them all and I'll have to keep adding on to the back end of it, if that makes any sense. But I don't know if I'm ever overwhelmed. I'm enjoying it. I kind of like having more video ideas than I could film. And using Notion has really helped me to actually consolidate them somewhere so that I can keep on track and schedule stuff out and all that. So I've become quite the Notion girly this year. I've tried a lot of ways to organize my content and Notion has been the best. Have you regretted posting a video? I regret posting the video about Book Outlet, not because I don't stand by the fact that people need to remember that Book Outlet is sus, and they did some really suspicious and not so great things to a POC creator that used to be in their like creator, influencer, whatever it was called, because that video also talked about somebody a book that they were maybe selling, and it was reacting to a TikTok. And basically it resulted in, well, one, nobody had listened to the book review that I had tacked onto the end of it. And then I was just kind of getting like yelled at about a certain dictator's memoir every couple days for months. It did really well because, of course, anywhere where I'm getting screamed at in the comments does well because the algorithm does love a good controversy. But it just got exhausting. Like I said earlier, it gets exhausting. So I have privated that video just because, one, I think it was screwing up my algorithm because people just kept watching that and then not other things. And I've seen that other videos have been able to come out and actually like get some traction outside of it. So number one, it was an experiment to see if it would change my algorithm and be able to like get my actual like book content back out and in people's eyes. And then also I just really didn't feel like getting screamed at anymore. I just needed a moment of peace. Also, for some reason people think that like I'm somehow like the way I was getting screamed at about Book Outlet, it was like I'm gonna somehow take down a company, and I'm not taking anybody down. I just maybe don't shop there if you don't have to. There's other options. There's something else I regret posting. I don't know. There's some really shitty videos with like terrible audio or like something that I'm not exactly a fan of, but it is what it is, and we all go through growing pains. 9 is another two-parter. Are the number of views, subscribers meaningful to you? And are the number of views, subscribers a measurement of success? I mean, technically views, subscribers is a measurement of success, so I don't really know how else to answer that. Do I feel successful? I feel fulfilled with the community that I have here, with the viewership that I have here. I'm happy to welcome more. Is it meaningful to me? Yes and no. I am happy when I see growth because I put time and effort into it. And when you put time and effort into something, you want to see that it's like well received. Like you create stuff, you do stuff, you want people to receive it, like it, and like, you know, be happy with it. So in that way it's meaningful. Does it run my life in any sort of way? Or like, does my ability to enjoy my life depend on how my YouTube channel is doing? No. Those are very separate things. This is just like a creative outlet, and I do enjoy seeing people enjoying things I create, or things that I talk about, or books that I like, or maybe they don't agree with me and they dislike a book or whatever. It's not like the be all and end all of my life. 10, are you disappointed by the growth of your channel? I'm not disappointed. Obviously, I would love to have a bigger channel. I think a lot of people would love to be like successful and, you know, in all of that. But I don't think I've ever had a goal for like a specific number of subscribers outside of getting monetized, which I did get monetized this year. And being monetized isn't like some crazy thing. I don't make a ton of money. I think I've made, since I got monetized, like $105, which means I can actually finally take it out of YouTube because you can't even remove it until you hit 100. That felt like a really nice benchmark to get to. It took me a long time to get there, and I would be happy to have even more subscribers, but I would obviously be happy if this generated more revenue for me, or any revenue. Technically, this just operates at a loss. I'm not disappointed. I think that I'm proud. I'm proud of what little the little group of people that follow me here. have I ever thought about quitting Booktube? I have not thought about quitting Booktube, but I have played with different ways to make it fit into my life. And I've been working really hard to find ways to keep in my life. I really enjoy Booktube. I really enjoy all the stuff that I do with books. I love the random opportunities that it has given me in terms of like talking to authors and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've ever thought about quitting Booktube, but I have had to like figure out how to make it work. That's my answer. This is gonna be a longer video. I feel like you need a snack. Get a snack and a drink, and yeah, I should have said that in the beginning. 12 is a two-parter. We're almost there. What are the most touching comments and what are the most negative? The most negative comments I got, I think, have been on that book outlet video that's unlisted. And they're just people like yelling at me. Most of the time when people are negative, it's like usually somebody saying, it's usually on like a short. I get a lot of things on shorts where people are like clearly outside of the book community watching a short, and they'll be like, what is this? Who's this dumb bitch talking about? Like, you know, it's always some misogynistic man saying something stupid to me. They're clearly like not in the circle, so I just ignore it. I just don't know why. Like if I see something I don't know what it is, I don't leave a comment going, what the fuck is this? I just say that in my head and like scroll. So I just find that very interesting. But no, getting yelled at like every couple weeks for probably about a year and a half or a year or so was a lot for book outlet, which I think is interesting because if I had made a video saying don't shop at Amazon, I don't think anybody would have yelled at me that much. But anyway, in terms of touching comments, I love when people leave me like long, like well thought out comments and share pieces of them like in the comment, like nicely in the comments, not weirdly, like where, you know, you're talking about a book and like you're sharing your experiences with the book and like how it touched you and all that. I love those really well thought out, very long. I love those comments. I also love when I really dislike a popular book and I can't understand why somebody loves it, and I get like reassurance from other people that are like, oh my God, yes, thank you. I also disliked this and I haven't been able to like find other people that disliked this. Because sometimes you feel like it's you, like you missed something and you're like, no, there's no book that's just universally well liked, and it's just, you just needed to find the people that saw what you saw in the book. So I love those comments because you're like, you're my people. Anyway, and then the last question is, in regards to Booktube, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Probably plodding along, doing the same thing. I would hopefully have a bigger channel, whatever that means. More than 2,000 subs. That's what I would like. We're so close. Subscribe. Anyway, I think the biggest thing I'd like to see in 5 years is I would really love if Naomi and I could get the podcast to do well. I think that would be a lot of fun. The podcast is a lot of work and takes a lot of time. And especially right now, it's like such a balancing act. We've had a lot of changes in both of our lives and we love it so much and we're so committed to having the podcast. I think that is the thing I'd like to see the biggest growth and positive change in. That also has a YouTube channel, so it does count in this little prompt. So you can subscribe to that too if you want to see the podcast. But yeah, I think I just want to keep plodding along here, making new friends, really feeling confident in the kinds of content that I make. I think I'm getting more confident in what this channel is, and then I throw it for a loop every so often and just do whatever the heck I want. Like right now we're in the middle of NaNoWriMo and it's a lot of vlogs and those videos just bomb, but I enjoy doing the NaNoWriMo vlogs because anytime I do a vlog and it bombs, I'm not upset because those are the videos that I look back on and like I can rewatch and I relive like memories and moments and much more like personal stuff in my life. And that I'll remember things that happened outside of when the cameras were on or whatever clip I'm showing, especially when it comes to like my dogs. Like I have all these wonderful, beautiful moments with my dogs that are captured in these vlogs. So for me, those are more like a personal passion project that I do. But let me tell you, every time I throw stuff like that in, the algorithm's like, wait, what are you doing? I thought we did reviews. And I'm like, I guess it's where I want to see myself in 5 years. Podcast doing really well, the channel doing better, whatever that means. And that's it. Just keep plodding along, having a good time. So that's the whole... I'm gonna assume somebody walked by the door. Okay, I need to wrap this up because she's going crazy downstairs. So that's the book tag. I'm going to tag Rogers Reads and Jax, and I'm gonna tag Adam Khan because we're gonna try to drag him back to Booktube, and I'm gonna tag Karen Reader. That's that. We're gonna wrap this up. She is losing her mind downstairs. Anyway, thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video, whatever it may be, because it's my channel and I can do whatever I want. Bye.
So just sit with me, talking to the night until the morning, building chemistry. I don't think I ever want to go come closer next to me, trying to find another way to say this.